So I'm preparing a site to plant some Japanese maples on the side of this building. It gets afternoon shade and also morning shade because it's right next to a fence and the building. And then our neighbor has some trees they're growing that will grow up and provide even more shade in the future. So Japanese maples like it when there's just filtered sun or partial shade. So that's the first selection criteria for Japanese maples. You want it to be in a location where there's enough shade. And then also, I live in Utah where we have a lot of alkaline clay soil that Japanese maples don't like. And so if you want to plant Japanese maples in a place like Utah where you have a lot of alkaline clay type soil, you have to amend the soil. So I dug out a really large area, almost as if I was planting a really big tree, even though I'm just planting tiny trees, but I want the trees to grow big and still have plenty of acidic soil type nutrients. And so I dug a huge hole about 3 or 4 feet wide, and 2 or 3 feet down. And then I filled the hole with a mixture of the mulch or compost you see around it, mixed in with some of the clay, mixed in with a lot of peat moss, and then also some perlite. You can see those little white granules of perlite there to help provide some drainage. So kind of did a Mel's mix. If you've ever heard of Mel's mix, which is used for planting vegetables in a vegetable garden, that's basically what I did. I did compost, peat moss, perlite, and then some of the native clay so that the tree can get used to some of the clay mixed in with it, and not be shocked when it reaches the clay around the borders, because most of the clay underneath this compost, most of the dirt under this compost is just thick clay. So I dug a really wide hole that's kind of got slanted, sloped, kind of gradually sloped angles on the sides, and then filled it with a lot of peat moss and compost and a little bit of clay and some perlite as well. And then you can see I've got the drip line set up so it will water. And then I'm covering these areas with kind of the rest of the bark or mulch that we have here to provide some weed protection and help retain moisture in the soil. So we planted a Japanese maple there last fall that was late in the fall, and it was kind of an iffy tree when I bought it, but I got a really good deal on it. So we'll see if it survives. This looks like part of it's still doing okay here. I'm gonna prune off some of the rest that died back over the winter, but I'm happy that even any of it survived because it was such a late plant. So this time I'm planting these in the spring. It's mid-April right now, so we'll get these planted and watered and see how they do. In Utah, you need to help acidify the soil a little bit.